Honestly, I've tried making like 2 or 3 videos so far, and every single time I seem to get interrupted or something like that, so I'm trying again, this time really late at night, so that hopefully nobody is up and comes in and talks to me, but we'll never know. So, I was honestly hoping I could record this with some sound other than myself, but again, I'm still using a kind of crappy recording program, but that does not bother me a whole lot because I can just record it anyways. We'll just kind of jump into what we're going to do here. And honestly, it's pretty much just going to be a brief discussion of what I am looking forward to in Warlords of Draenor, since I play World of Warcraft. What I kind of hope they do for Warlords of Draenor, and just some very, very broad information, because honestly, I really have not done any research other than simply reading every now and then on MMO Champion or watching the BlizzCon thing. Other than that, all I have is a couple different things here for you. But to start off, Warlords of Draenor is going to have 7 new zones, 1 new continent, which really isn't exactly a new continent. It's an old continent redone and remastered with a PvP zone in it and some other stuff, and yeah. Anyway, for those who don't know what it looks like this. It's a brave and savage world. Draenor is a land of magma and metal, stone and steam, city forges, a bunch of all this stuff. You could read it if you want to. I mean, yeah. But the different zones are starting zones you have for the Horde. I'm pretty sure it's a Frostfire Ridge, which is a harsh winter volcanic peaks area. So there's going to be lots of snow, lots of lava. Yep. Then for the Alliance, it's going to be Shadow Moon Valley, which is supposed to this time, according to pictures and stuff, be kind of a greenish land and not a purple land. They're going opposite ways with this. But it's going back to the Valley Vast Underground Cave Network, blah blah blah, some other stuff. So it's just going back to a lush idea, or whatever that word is, forest. That's what it's going to. So from there, I'm assuming. I honestly have no idea where they're going because I do not remember what they said for zone levels. But you have Ground, which is supposed to be almost like or what Blaze Edge used to look like. It's got kind of the same color to it, but it's no longer spiky. It's going to be more hills and normal stuff that you would normally see, but it's pretty much what it is. There's Talador, which is home to Shatrath and to whatever Arkandun or whatever Arkan something Mababa right here in the center, which now isn't completely exploded. It's all in whole. It's where some of the instances, or a instance or a raid or something like that, is going to be. Then we have Nagrand, which I like this picture because again it shows some of the older stuff of floating islands of Nagrand, which they said they weren't going to have. You think they would have got a new, slightly better picture for it or something like that. I don't know. Then there's the Tanan Jungle, which is taking Hellfire Peninsula completely in the opposite direction, from complete barren wasteland to complete jungle, which I'm actually looking forward to this. I mean, if they could put something like this in there to where it's not just looking like concept art, where you could actually they take this concept look here and render it into the game would look sweet. 'Cause honestly, this picture looks awesome. I like that picture. But it's going to a complete thing. They didn't say much about this island down here, but it's I believe, was something with the ogres and their stuff. But anyway, we have lastly out of the stuff the spires of Iraq, Eric. So I mean, since it's Ericoa, wouldn't it be Eric? I mean, who knows? They call it Iraq, which would make that Arakoa. But either way, it's got spikes, maybe? I mean, spires is basically what you would think. It's going to have some large, tall spires. But yeah, anyway, other than that, you have the small island, which they said is probably going to come out in a future patch. Has something to do with the ogres. They have big, huge island up here, which they did say is coming out in a future patch, but I don't remember what they said about it. And then there's finally the small little island here you can't click on, which is their PvP zone. I don't remember what it's called, but it's an ongoing PvP world where it seems like the only real benefit you get from it is PvP. Who knows if they're going to add anything else to it? We'll find out. Next off, we have the build and upgrade your garrison, which I'll do another separate video for that later because there's a lot of stuff to cover in and about the garrison. Not as much as I had hoped. I'm kind of hoping that soon they'll have some more information out or something like that. Maybe I'll go look up some stuff on forums for it. Who knows? But I'll do that one in a completely different thing because that's a big thing. All you need to know from this video is it is basically you could build your own small base in the world, that you can make your own home, you could upgrade it, you could add your own adventurers and give them kind of quests and stuff to do. So in other words, you become the ruler of this area, and you can go in any of those places except for maybe the PvP place and then the two newer places that will come out later. But they have a couple plots, they said, in each place. You get to pick one, you build it there. I don't remember if there's anything about moving it. Either way, yeah. Next off, a level 90 character upgrade play immediately. So pretty much with this, they have said if you pre-order the game, you get a level 90 instant upgrade right away. So more than likely, we'll be able to pre-order this game in probably 2 to 3 months. Maybe sooner, who knows. I mean, Diablo is pre-orderable 4 months in advance, so who knows about Warlords of Draenor. Either way, you'll be able to get your level 90 right away then, and if not, if you don't pre-order it, you're new to the game, as soon as you buy it, you get a free 90 character upgrade to where if you're playing because you have friends playing, when you buy the game, you could play immediately with them. So you don't have to go through the whole other content unless you absolutely want to. Or the way I see it, if you're making a new character and you haven't, or just you're a new person, you're making a character for the first time, I honestly think you should level up because it's more enjoyable that way. You get to play longer. But if you're on to play with just a friend, yeah, go ahead, start level 90 character, play with your friend through Warlords of Draenor. Then if you feel like it afterwards, in your free time, go back, level up a character, find out the story. Level up maybe one of each, one Horde, one Alliance, one Panda, one Worgen, one of each separate thing that's got its own kind of story, one Death Knight, and so on and so forth. When it comes to new characters, they are also updating the models for the characters. I believe they said they were going to think about having an option to where anybody who doesn't have that great of computers can kind of opt out of it, to where they keep the old character models, or maybe slowly up-res them, depending on your thing. My computer's not extremely great, but it'll be able to handle the high res model characters without a problem. But basically, they're upgrading the models. They have more than just the 3 I'm going to show you out, but I'm just showing the 3 because I'm kind of lazy at the moment. So the current 3 they have, or that they showed right away, were the orcs, the dwarfs, and the gnome. Honestly, I love them. They're all awesome. I mean, you get the orcs where he's spinning around. I mean, nice high res texture. I mean, you see his veins, more muscle tone, better looking face. Basically, it's the same kind of model as Garrosh is right now because they upgraded Garrosh and so on and so forth. Dwarfs now look a lot hairier. Their feet look a lot bigger. Their beard, I believe, will actually now move on its own. I believe that's true with most of the hair, but they have more muscle tone now as well. You can see the veins. I don't have the comparison because like I said, I'm lazy. I don't feel like going out and looking for stuff. Then you have the gnomes, which look a heck of a lot better. The texture resolution in their face and their hair, especially this hairdo, instead of it being all blocky and chunky looking for all of it. Everything looks nice and smooth. I mean, yes, they're gnomes, but they still do have a little bit of muscle, and so their muscle tones that. Their belly's kind of round. They have more fluid, and it's true with all of them. They kind of have more fluidity in all their body muscles and their bodies and how it moves. So, it's going to be awesome. After that, we have I'll mention all 3 of these at once. You have 6 new dungeons and 2 raids, which, as I said, is kind of what they usually do, about 6, 7 dungeons. I don't remember how many Miss Pandaria had exactly, but I know it had 2 that were only heroic, and then of course they had the heroic versions that came out. And then later on, last patch, or the patch before last patch, either way they made the 2 that were heroic available for lower levels and kind of lowered the gear on them so that people had something else to do before they got to 90 to help them out. And then 2 raids, about standard. I mean, Wrath, I didn't play BC at the start, didn't play Vanilla at the start, but Wrath had kind of 2, kind of 3. It had 1 raid, which was pretty much simply just 1 boss. You had to go in, kill 3 mini bosses, then kill the 1 boss, or just try and kill the 1 boss for better loot. But a lot of people weren't able to do that right away because it was harder. You had to basically burst it down within a couple seconds, or it took forever. Their other raid was just a remake of Naxxramas, which honestly I didn't get a raid Naxxramas in Vanilla because I started in BC, so it was new to me. A fair amount of other people I've heard it was new to as well for the most part. Plus, it wasn't trying to get 40 people to do it. And then they also had Bolt of Archivon or whatever, but that was kind of more of your world boss put in a dungeon. And then Cataclysm had 3, I believe, for the most part. They came out kind of one after another. Miss Pandaria had 3. That pretty much came out one after another. Then we had heroic version of 2 classic dungeons. Well, that since, what was it, Cataclysm? Did they start it in Cataclysm or Wrath? I don't remember. I think it was just Cataclysm because you had... Yeah, it was Cataclysm. I'm pretty sure that they started the heroic versions of 2 classic dungeons where they did whatever the hell it was, and then next one they did whatever the hell it was. You guys know what it was who was played. If you didn't know, if you haven't played the game, I say go play it and find out. Right? Yeah. But this time it's going to be, I believe, upper and lower Blackrock Spire, which I'm hoping they do something correct with it and actually split the dungeons, take that whole entrance corridor. They just take it out and put you over at the front entrance to each zone, or to each one, so that you know which one it is you're doing. Because as you're leveling now, if you get to lower Blackrock Spire, it spawns you at the entrance. If you spawn for upper Blackrock Spire, it spawns you at the entrance, which is the same entrance because it's actually the same exact instance, but splits into 2 different directions. Kind of like Blackrock Depths, which does the same thing, which also gets annoying because people always go, oh hey, let's go kill the last boss, and it ends up being the smaller side, and then they don't want to do that, and you pretty much don't get your bonus experience and stuff like that for leveling and blah, 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 blah. Then they have the new challenge modes, which I kind of like how it's like new challenge modes when it should just probably say challenge modes, because the new challenge mode came out in Mists of Pandaria, where it basically takes the heroic versions, puts them to work the way that they were originally intended to work. At least the way I see it's the way they were originally intended to work. And then limits your gear to a certain extent to where you're pretty much doing it in the max amount of gear you could have if you were to get all the dungeon's gear and nothing else. So if you have, like right now, it's 463, I believe it limits you down to, something like that. So even my 540s get limited down to 463 or whatever it is. So regardless of your gear, it scales it down so that you're always going to be the same. I don't think it scales it up, but I know it scales it down. Like every expansion, there's going to be some new battlegrounds. I don't remember if they said anything about it or not. There's nothing above that says what they are. I mean, you have the new PvP zone and stuff, but other than battlegrounds, I'm not too sure of. And then since they brought back world bosses in Cataclysm, or not Cataclysm, but Mists of Pandaria, they are going to bring them back again because they were such a big hit. But honestly, I hope they do something slightly different with them again. I mean, the big dinosaur-like guy with the guy on his back, I don't remember his name right now. He spawned only like once a week, or unless the server had to be reset for some reason, he'd spawn maybe 2, maybe 3 times a week for whatever reason. Now he pretty much spawns every couple hours, I believe. Shah of Anger, I believe, is the world boss. Whatever, the Shah also spawned every 2 hours after being killed, or every half hour after being killed, or I don't remember. But honestly, I hope they kind of go away from that and have it, like maybe once a day, twice a day. I mean, it kind of sucks for those who have, 7 toons, or maybe phase it so the Alliance get it once a day and the Horde get it once a day, so that it's not like, oh, hey, Tuesday, get on, or hey, it's today we get on. Oh, damn, the Horde already killed him. And then, have him spawn like midday, mid-afternoon, or whatever servers' high times are. Maybe have him spawn twice a day for that fact, but every 2 hours seemed kind of crazy to me. You'd have just people you'd log in on Tuesday, and they'd be like, hey, looking for Shaw, looking for Shaw, looking for Shaw, or looking for Celestials, and honestly, I didn't stay around for 5.3 and 5 point, the last half of 5.2 and 5.3 for all of the world bosses there, because I was kind of worn out on doing them, or doing the dailies to just unlock the thing. And then 5.3 came out, doing a weekly. I'm pretty sure that was all that was released, was a weekly and a new battleground or something. I don't remember exactly. I didn't play for that. Came back for 5.4 because they're adding a lot of new stuff, and it's, well, actually, and plus the Siege Orgrimmar play, which I was looking forward to. So, hey, I came back for it, and yeah. But I'm kind of hoping they do something a little bit different. World bosses to where it's better than it is now, or harder than it is now. To just go do them. You can't just, oh, hey, we did it now. Half hour later, we'll do it again. Or in the Celestial case, okay, we did it now. 5 minutes, we'll go do it again. Or 2 minutes, or 1 minute, whatever the heck it is that that they switch. But yeah, with looking for a group finder now, I mean, it's not like it'll be hard to find group. Next off, we have the new normal and heroic scenarios. The scenarios, honestly, there is, I like them, but at the same time, I kind of don't like the fact that there aren't any scenarios for some of the lower levels. I mean, since the scenarios came out in Mists of Pandaria, it's be kind of annoying for them to have to go back and do ones for, not necessarily vanilla, but for the vanilla content for the most part, even though it's all new since Cataclysm. All that content from there to there. Stuff like how the Horde took over South Shore, or the Alliance trying to get out of whatever Dark Shores, whatever the heck it was there, before it blew up or something. Just I wish they would have some more lower level scenarios that you would do like maybe once, maybe twice, just to get some experience. Maybe once a day you get experience from them type thing, and you go in, do one, and then make them heroic, so that when you do a heroic scenario, everything, since they have all this new scaling technology, that everything could always just scale up to you. And then, but yeah, they have new and heroic scenarios, which I'm pretty sure are pretty much going to be a bunch of stuff that pretty much just takes place in Warlords of Draenor. There'll probably be one, even though they said they weren't doing anything, there'll probably end up being one pre-patch, which might show, which honestly I think this is the way that they should do it. They should do a scenario pre-patch for anybody, like literally anybody from 85, or really from 60 to 90, then scale it up to them. And they should do it kind of like they did with Theramore. I mean, Theramore, I kind of want to see what happened to it. Not actually, I want to see how what happened to it, not what happened to it, and then going in afterwards. Hopefully, they do something with that where it's like, okay, Garrosh escaped, meets some guy, and then they go to the Dark Portal, which he then alters and makes it a dimension portal, which is another thing I kind of hope they said something about once the Dark Portal changes, it'll be like that, and then new characters are going to have to go to, or level 60 characters are going to have to go to the Caverns of Time. Well, for this reason, one reason why I kind of hope they don't do it scenario style is I kind of hope that what they do is once you hit level 90, you get or 89, or whatever they actually want to let you limit it to. They give you a quest, and you go do this quest, which sends you after Garrosh. You go after Garrosh and find him there taking over the Dark Portal, and you basically have to go in and try and stop him before he can do it. But while he's breaking it, he's got a couple of horde orcs that support, some of the orcs that still support him there, fighting you off, and you're basically just fighting off a wave, or basically a battlement. He finishes the Dark Portal, goes in through it, comes back with the slightly large size army, or sends a slightly large size army with them, or out after us. We take them out, and we're like, what the hell was that? Let's go into this portal. We go into this portal, and because of all this weird time travel, dimension shifting stuff like that, when we go through, once we've finished this quest, the portal is now red for us. But any level 60 who goes there, or 58 who goes there, it's still green. They don't have this quest. It kind of phases us away from them. So if we go through it, we go to Old Draenor. We want to go back to Outlands. There'll be a mage there to send us to either Honorhold or to Shatrath or something like that, so we could instantly go back there. Honestly, if it's for people who are level 90, Shatrath would make the most sense. So that's how I think they should do it. Instead of forcing new players to have to go to Caverns of Time to go to kind of the same time era. I mean, yeah, Burning Crusade happened in the past, but as they're leveling, it's kind of during the same timeline almost. Just because they're leveling straight up, they shouldn't have to now go do something different. We should be the ones that have to do something different. If anything, they should open up a dark portal in the Caverns of Time, since as Dormu is no longer the time aspect. I mean, they still have some, the Keepers of Time and stuff still have the power over time and stuff, I believe. But you could have Garrosh and this guy go assault there, that big hourglass in the center, they could shatter and make that a portal or something, and that just, or make it a rift to where, because I'm pretty sure what they said is if you're a horde and you go through the portal, you don't come through where the dark portal is, you go straight to your starting zone or something. I'm still not 100% clear how that is, but it's like a rift would be awesome, because if you're a horde and you go into this rift, you spiral through, you end up in Frostfire. You end up here in Frostfire Ridge, which I'm pretty sure is what it was called, and you land somewhere right in this big, huge dead space, or you land over here, Wargall, or, you land somewhere here. And since the Bladespire Fortress is the area that you're going to take over, you spend a couple quests maybe gathering stuff to make your assault into this ogre fortress, and then you go into this ogre fortress, take it over, it becomes your home city, and then from there you quest on out this direction and then over into the other world. As for the Alliance, the way I believe that this rift should happen is you go through the rift, you come down, And since they have this observatory thing here, which I don't know what it actually is, it might be an observatory or it might be something else. But what I'm kind of hoping they do is there's something that Velen, since he could see, he has the sight of being able to see the future. He knows what every future is going to look like, off what it's going to look like branching out, where he would know we're going to, be summoned or, land. And honestly, the way this map looks, I think up here on this little island, or not island, but this little mountain here, where it's like, okay, this mountain just goes up here to nowhere. He had some sort of thing said, something prepared so that when we came in, we ended up here, and then from here, we, came down, took out the invasion force that's going to assault the Temple of Karabor. I think it's how you pronounce it. I don't remember either. And from there, it becomes your home city. There's and I are like, okay, who are these guys? And they're like, Belen's like, oh yeah, they're time travelers from the future. I saw this coming. I knew they were gonna come. So yeah, welcome in. But yeah, I'm kind of hoping that is how they do it, rather than us coming in here having some sort of weird fight between the two of us being ported to here or ported to here. It'd make more sense to spawn us in there, do our stuff, and then work out from there. Honestly, it's how I think they should do this stuff. But we'll leave it up to Blizzard to how they decide to do it. But we'll leave it up to Blizzard to decide how they want to do it. But yeah, from there, level cap is being raised to 100, which a lot of people on the forums I have seen have been complaining. They're like, oh, level 100 seems like it's such a final end stage for the game. It's like, it's 100. Everybody says World of Warcraft is going to end at 100. Well, Blizzard said themselves, they don't plan on ending it unless all of a sudden they lose literally almost every single one of their subs. They lose like 90% of their subs. I mean, they have 6 million people. They lose 90% of that. That's going to leave them with like 100 or with like 600,000, or I don't know what it'll leave them with. Maybe a couple 100,000 people, which at that point, $15 a month, they're not going to make enough money to do anything else with only that many people. So, and a lot of people saw, the level 100 cap coming when they released the Siege of Orgrimmar and the new weapons being level from, or BOA level 90 to 100. So people were like, oh, it means 100 must be the next cap, because if 90 is the next cap, then does that mean that this weapon is going to be the best at, or 90, if 95 is the next cap, does that mean this weapon's going to be the best at 95? If so, that means once we get to 95, we get this, we can just go back to Siege of Orgrimmar, do it then, maybe do it on Heroic, beat it there, get the better weapon, come back and do it. But so it's probably going to be good till level 100 rating, maybe even level 100 instances or heroics. I'm kind of hoping it's the heroics rather than the rating, because then so many people are still going to have it during raiding, unless it's the looking for raid that replaces it, which might be fine as well. But yeah, level cap is 100. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully it takes longer to level, which I'll probably make a leveling rant later as well, another video for that, which hopefully, yeah, whatever. There's going to be new class talents and permanent ability bonuses. I'll do a small video on some of the class talents that MMO Champion has already had. Remember, none of them are out though, so they could change. Then the permanent ability bonuses. I'm not sure exactly how they plan on doing this per se. I mean, from what they said, they're pretty much like, okay, since they're not giving out any new spells, because, making new spells other than, the new talents can get kind of annoying for them, trying to figure out something new that isn't something they already have. I mean, before Cataclysm, when they had some of them out, or not Cataclysm, but before Mists of Pandaria, before they had some of them out, it's like, I know people were talking about what they wanted on the forum and stuff like that, and it's like, I know on the forum, one of the things I had brought up for when people were talking about things for Hunter, I'd brought up the idea of Stampede. I don't know if anybody had brought up that idea before, but I noticed it was put in the game, and I was thinking, sweet, now that is awesome. but you never know. I mean, hopefully some of the talents seem a little bit OP for some classes or some specs of classes, and then like other specs just aren't even going to bother taking it because there's nothing good with it. But the permanent ability bonuses is, from what they said, basically sounds like I'll just use my hunter as an example since I play a hunter mainly, anyways. But what it is so it's like, okay, I went from level 90 to 91, or from level 90 to 92, 91 to 92, or whatever they feel like doing. My arcane shot will suddenly be buffed up because it's like, oh hey, new permanent ability bonuses, or not necessarily buffed up, be like your arcane shot now deals. I mean, it'll more likely be buffed up, but it'll be like arcane shot now deals such and such damage, plus it now adds this effect to it, which either does this and such damage, or adds this buff, or decreases this buff, or something like that. We'll find out. Or maybe something like, hey, if your aim shot hits, or hey, we'll buff up your aim shot. Your aim shot, if it critically hits, it's free. Or you get your focus back, or half your focus back. Something like, buffs like that is pretty, or bonuses like that is kind of something that it sounded like they were planning on doing. The next thing on the list is something that everybody's gonna be like, duh, to, because I mean, they refined the quest system. I'm not sure exactly what that means. I mean, they refined it in Mist of Pandaria, where it's as I'm questing now through the Mist of Pandaria stuff, I'm not being asked, hey, do you want this useless tank trinket for your clothy? Or do you want this useless DPS plate, or this mail belt, or this leather thingy-majig? It's like, I can't use any of those. Why would I want them? Well, you could sell them for gold. Well, just give me the gold of the highest amount, because that's what I'm going to pick, right? Well, they changed that for Mist of Pandaria, in Mist of Pandaria stuff, and I believe some of the pre-Mist of Pandaria, or some of the, I don't remember. Some of it, I don't remember everything, but they refined it so that if I level up, or if I'm doing quests while I'm leveling up, hey, you're a hunter, you use bows, okay, here, have a bow, or a gun, or a crossbow, or it's when, for warriors, he's not like, oh, have a gun, have a bow, you could use, it's like, oh, you're a warrior, I got a two-handed axe in here, we'll give that to you. That's how they refine it in Mist of Pandaria. How they plan on doing Warlords of Draenor, not exactly. Oh wait, I do remember one thing they're doing with the quest system, and that is the quest items are now no longer in your bag. They're basically being sent to the void, which you will then take it out of the void. And yeah. But other than that, it's pretty much like, when it's like, hey, go collect 50 cobalt ears. You're not going to have a stack of 50, or 2 stacks of 25, or 5 stacks of 10, or 10 stacks of 5, or whatever they make it. It's going to be, you have 50 of them in an imaginary pouch in your pocket. So they are going to be imaginary as well, rather than items. And then once you get back, you're all like, oh yeah, here, I have these things. And they're like, oh, cool, sweet, thank you. And then they put it in their imaginary pouch that they've always had. Because some of these quest guys, we've given them so many heads that they'd have to, completely build something the size of Deep Home to fill it up, right? But of course, the thing, it's the duh of all this is the hundreds of new quests. I mean, they're adding 10 levels. I mean, if they only added 100 quests for 10 levels, yeah, that would be kind of stupid. So, of course, they're probably adding maybe 200-300 new quests just for leveling, and then stuff like that, right? Of course, and then last but not least is ... and more. Because yeah, there's honestly a bunch more, which I plan on also covering in another video in the future. Trying to keep this one under an hour for now, seeing as it's nothing too fancy. It's just a brief overview and stuff like that. So from here, all I really have to say is I'm kind of hoping I can get in the beta, cover some of the stuff for you guys, go through some of it. Maybe you'll see it, maybe you won't. It all depends on if I am able to get in to the beta or not. I opt in. It's like I've clicked on this button here, this beta opt-in, and I opted in. And it's like I got into the Hearthstone beta about halfway through it, so there's a possibility I can get into the Warlords of Draenor beta as well. Who knows? I mean, it's not going to be like it was last time when it's like, yeah, I got into the Cataclysm beta, but and I wanted to do something for it, but honestly, you know, there was what, like 1.6, 1.8 million people in it, so who was really not very many people were really doing much content for it because a sixth of the population was already in it. I mean, yeah, it went out in waves, but a sixth of the population got to see it, so I didn't see much reason to do it. But if I could get into the beta, which I'm hoping I do, I'll go over this stuff with you guys then as well. We'll find out. We'll see ya if I do. If not, then you'll see my other crappy videos of this. I'm sorry for this one being so crappy. I'm doing it with a Turtle Beach headset using a cheap screen cap program. Well, actually, really, it's a really expensive screen cap program, but it's a cracked screen cap program. So, yeah. Either way, whatever. If you guys enjoy, you know, yeah, you know. See you guys later.